this is a 74 RD. It started life as a 250. It is now a 350. Okay, and I'll give you some backstory on this one too. It's been a bit of a bugger, to be honest with you. I got it from a guy who was leaving the country, moving to, I don't know where he said, Finland? Something like that. It wasn't running at the time. Picked it up cheap. Thought I was getting a good deal. And I mean, honestly, I can't fault the guy. Because he really didn't know. Here I am on the wrong side of the camera again. This is going to be a challenge with my left-handedness. We're going to go this way so I can get closer to the microphone. So, right now the problem is transmission. Now, we're going to diagnose the problem. I think I know what it is. I've already split this case twice. Right now the condition is we're having a hard time finding neutral, and it doesn't want to work with third gear. So, meaning it jumps out or skips it or just bypasses it altogether. What I think is the problem is the shift shaft needs to be adjusted. Now, I believe there is a shift shaft adjustment in there. What I originally took it apart for was it burned a transmission bearing. Taken it out on a ride. My damages quest for the last time is a 250. Got up to about the second ranger station and the transmission just started screaming and howling. Like, okay, I heated up a bearing. Whether it had been done before, and it was on its way out. I don't know the exact history of this. I'm guessing as I go along. So anyway, it got driven home in the race hauler. Pulled the engine out, split the cases. I had already acquired the 350 top end, so I knew the 250 stuff was not going back in. And ordered up all the main bearings for the transmission. There's 4. Put it back together. And went to put the 350 top end on, the barrels on, and one side would not go on. Turns out I had a bent rod. Wish I had the piston. Oh, it's on that big pile of shit there. I'll pull it out. I'll try to insert some pictures of when I got this and what it was like at the time. It was missing parts. I think someone had turned it into a race bike at one time, and then someone had tried to get it to put it back to street condition. I'm noticing a lot of the replacement parts are lights. The oil tank was gone. I replaced the oil pump. The pump was gone. Got the injector working again. But anyway, bent rod. So pulled the engine apart again. Ouch. And put in a new crank. So everything is new, except for the actual transmission gears and transmission, which was from the original 250. Everything else has been changed. I had to replace the cases too. We'll get into that. I'll show you the nightmare that was. But anyway, put it back together, ran good, everything's fine. First test drive, jumps out of third gear. Now it won't find neutral very easily. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think the shift shaft is not allowing the gears to engage completely. So we're going to pull off the clutch cover, see what we can find in there. Hopefully we don't have to split the cases again, because I really don't want to do it a third time. And we'll see what we see. Now, as I said, I'm going to be doing this work anyway. If you want to come along and watch, be my guest. Maybe you'll learn something, maybe you won't. I'm sure there's guys that are way more experienced and better at this than I am, but I've been doing this two-stroke thing for a long time. I've maintained my own race bikes from motocross to road race. Back in the early 90s, I made a living flipping them and repairing them in San Francisco. Guess I need to enunciate a little bit more. And yeah, so I've done it a time or two. So we'll see. Enough jabbering. Let's get to work. That'll work. All right, I've taken the liberty of draining the oil, and I started to take the side case apart. Now, those of you who have taken one of these apart before realize, most of the oil is kept in the clutch cover here. The drain plug is under the transmission. So, drain plug's not a lot of help when you're draining oil in these. Most of it stays in here and spills all over the place as soon as you take the bolts, as soon as you pick the cover loose. Which is, as you see, we've already done. We've taken care of that already. We've seasoned the concrete. So that part I didn't make you watch. Careful with this gasket. This is a new gasket. First one I took off, stuck to the cases. I don't know how long it had been there. Let's try to keep it on this side. Now you can carefully remove these so you can reuse it. Brake lever's not out of the way enough. Realize that you do not, under any circumstances, want to deal with this brake assembly. And this is the rear drum. And if you take the lever off, you can take the brake lever off, but there's a danger of the whole pivot sliding in, or the spring falling off. That is something you do not want to do. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to do something tricky here. Oh. that should stay out of our way. Now, bring it on this. This lever here is the shift lever. Really, I want to go taking this apart again. I'm thinking there's an adjustment that is not allowing it to go into gear, to fully engage the gears, therefore jumping out of gear. And it's mainly affecting the first 3 gears. The inability to find neutral first, second, mainly third, that's an issue. Looks like we're taking the clutch off. Okay, now you can clearly see what I was talking about with the external adjustment. You know, now I'm thinking about it, I might even be able to take the shift drum out without pulling the case apart. I don't think so though. I'm guessing that's 6th gear, because it won't go up any higher. I guess turning it does no good because it's not what it does. This is your shift drum or shift shaft adjustment. Okay? Now, instructions say put it 2nd, 3rd, or 4th gear and rotate this until this and the one just like it on the bottom are in the exact same spot. Okay? Now we've done that. Not a big deal. It's a cam. It's an eccentric. It just kind of moves around. We've done that. feels a little better, but I'm still getting a nasty false neutral between 3 and 4, I believe. And then there seems to be another one between 5 and 6. I'm going to think on this again. Okay, gang, there it was. Successfully went through all the gears. Downshift, upshift. I think I did it again after I turned the camera off. Okay, good. I'm glad that happened. You might have noticed that last night I was a little bummed out. I wasn't really feeling it. Thought I was going to find something more obvious. Turns out I did find the problem, I just didn't realize it. Yeah. So, I was very close to splitting the cases this morning. I thought about it last night. Came out here and gave it one more chance with that adjuster, and that did the trick. So, we have one more thing to do with this. I was going to try to do it today, but the parts didn't come. I got, we're going to do a 520 chain conversion, because I have to change the sprockets anyway, because I left the 250 primary on there and clutch basket, so it's geared very low for a 250, which was just too low for a 350. So we will do that. Maybe the next one, maybe an upcoming one. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad I got that taken care of. I didn't want to leave. I don't want to leave it hanging. I didn't want this to be a fail for a first working video. So we can successfully actually call this one a wrap.